Well, friends, the 2024 Oscar nominations have been released. So here is a quick synopsis on the Best Picture nominees to keep you on track this award season. Anora. Anora, or Ani, a Russian-American stripper in Brooklyn, dreams of a better life beyond the confines of her struggling community. When she meets Vanya, the spoiled, reckless son of a powerful Russian oligarch, their whirlwind romance sweeps her into a life of luxury and chaos. After a lavish Vegas elopement, Ani discovers Vanya's true intentions, using their marriage to secure a green card, and faces the wrath of his controlling family who will stop at nothing to annul the union. The Brutalist. Laszlo Toth, a Hungarian Jewish architect and Holocaust survivor, immigrates to a post-war America. In Philadelphia, he struggles to rebuild his life while facing systematic exploitation, betrayal, and the lingering trauma of his past. When an opportunity to design a groundbreaking community center arises, Laszlo is thrust into a world of power struggles and moral compromises. Despite initial successes, Laszlo's visions for the center is undermined by greed and corruption, leading to clashes with wealthy industrialists and devastating personal losses. His life becomes entangled with Gordon, a struggling black father, as both men spiral into addiction. A complete unknown. In 1961, Bob Dylan arrives in New York City to meet his idol, who is hospitalized. He befriends Gerthy's confidant Pete Seeger, who helps him navigate the city's folk scene. Dylan's sharp wit and talent catches the attention of Sylvie Russo, sparking a romance that helps him find his creative footing. Introduced by Seeger, Dylan gains representation from Albert Grossman, but his debut album flops due to pressure to include mostly covers. Determined to fight for creative freedom, Dylan begins writing socially conscious songs that lead to a professional and romantic connection with Joan Baez. However, as his fame grows, his relationship with Russo crumbles under the strain. Dylan's shift to electric rock alienates the folk community, culminating in a divisive Newport Folk Festival performance where he is booed for abandoning acoustic tradition. Conclave. After the death of the Pope, the College of Cardinals convenes to elect a successor. Archbishop Benez of Cebu surprises everyone by joining the conclave, having secretly been made a cardinal by the late Pope. Political scheming begins as scandals emerge, including Adamemi's affair with a nun and Tremblay's bribery, leaving Lawrence, the hedonic cardinal dean, caught in the crossfire. With no clear frontrunner, tensions arise and allies shift. A suicide bombing in Rome further heightens the stakes, with Tedesco exploiting the tragedy to push his anti-Islamic agenda. Benitez, advocating for unity and forward-thinking leadership, inspires the cardinal to elect him as pope. Dune Part 2. Following the fall of the House of Atreides, Paul and Lady Jessica find refuge among freemen. Jessica undergoes a dangerous ritual to become a reverend mother, awakening her unborn daughter Aaliyah's consciousness. Paul immerses himself in freedman culture, falls in love with Chani, and earns their loyalty as he begins planning vengeance. Meanwhile, the sadistic Frayed Retha replaces his brother as ruler. Paul uncovers Freeman's hidden atomic arsenal and struggles with prophetic visions of a holy war in his name. As tensions mount, Paul leads the Freemen in a massive assault against the Emperor's forces. He challenges Emperor Shadaman IV for the throne. Emilia Perez. Rita Mora Castro, a gifted but morally conflicted lawyer in Mexico, gains fame after defending a media mogul's wife in a high-profile murder case. Despite her success, Rita feels empty, questioning her purpose until cartel kingpin Juan de Molte approaches her with an unconventional request: help him transition into his true self as a woman. Reluctantly, Rita takes on the challenge, supporting Juan's journey to become Emilia Perez. After the transition, Emilia fakes her own death, cutting ties with her violent past to start fresh. But her identity as a cartel leader looms over her attempt at redemption. Years later, Emilia reconnects with her estranged family, sparking a web of secrets, guilt, and conflict. I'm Still Here. In 1970's Rio de Janeiro, Ruben Pavia returns from political exile to a life of love and laughter with his wife, Eunice, and their 5 children, though he keeps his underground political activities hidden. The family's domestic bliss is shattered when the military regime detains Ruben. His disappearance leaves Eunice and her daughter, Elenia, vulnerable to further questioning by authorities, forcing Eunice to step into the spotlight as the family's protector. Nickel Boys. In 1960s Jim Crow-era Florida, Elwood Curtis is a bright, idealistic teenager whose dreams of attending college are shattered when he's wrongfully convicted and sent to the Nickel Academy Reform School. There, black students face brutal abuse, exploitation, and systematic racism, while the white students live in comfort. Inspired by the civil rights movement, tries to hold on to hope, forming a bond with the cynical Turner, who warns him of the harsh realities of survival. As the horror of Nickel Academy escalate, Elwood attempts to expose the school's abuse backfires, leading to deadly consequences. The substance. Elizabeth Sparkle, a fading Hollywood icon, is unceremoniously dismissed from her aerobics TV show on her 50th birthday. Struggling with rejection and ageism, Elizabeth's life spirals after a near-fatal car accident, leading her to discover a mysterious serum known as the substance. Promising a younger, flawless self, the serum manifests Elizabeth's alternate persona, Sue, born from her own body. While Sue ascends to fame and fortune, Elizabeth withers in despair. A precarious symbiosis emerges, requiring them to switch consciousnesses weekly and share vital stabilizing injections to sustain Sue's perfection. But their partnership deteriorates as Sue defies the rules, pushing Elizabeth's body into grotesque decay. Consumed by resentment and self-loathing, Elizabeth's desperation culminates in a climactic confrontation. Wicked. Elphaba Throp, a emerald green-skinned girl, has always been an outcast. Arriving at Shiz University, she dreams of meeting the wizard and proving her worth, only to clash with her bubbly, privileged roommate, Galinda. Despite their initial animosity, the two form an unlikely friendship, navigating university life amidst growing societal tensions, including the discrimination faced by animals, sentient creatures like Dr. Dillamond, a talking goat professor. Elphaba's life takes a dramatic turn when she is summoned to meet the wizard in Emerald City. What begins as a hopeful encounter reveals the wizard's dark agenda of stripping animals of their rights. So, how many of these films have you seen? Are there any that you were surprised made the list? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. And I will see you guys later down the Oscar trail.